So I'm here with Therion. Um, on the 5th of December, the third and last part of the Leviathan trilogy is coming out. How was the recording process?
Yeah, first it's the 15th of December.
15. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Well, the recording progress was very different this time because we started this Leviathan project. We were supposed to do only one record,
Mm.
and then COVID came and the total lockdown. So we started to write this album Leviathan, and all of a sudden we had so many songs. So Christopher came up with the idea, let's not make one album, let's make three instead and call them Leviathan 1, 2, and 3. And, when we started to write, I was asking Christopher which direction he wanted to go on this album. And he only said, it has to be good, he said. And okay, very clear. So that instruction, all the songs became very, how can I say, different from each other, different styles. So we put the more commercial songs on the first one, commercial in Therion sense, of course. And on the second one, we put the songs that are a little more dark in the atmosphere, so to speak. And on this third one, we totally go bananas. It's more experimental, it's more progressive, and it has inspiration from this and that, no rules.
Mm. Like usual, we get transported by clear voice and then throughout singing from times to times, but we always get the Therion vibes,
Yeah,
that have to take times to always find a way to make music that sound like your specific band. How do you do that?
I think it's because it's us,
Yeah.
we actually don't try to do that. I mean, of course, we know how we sound, and especially Christopher, he has been there from the beginning. But he has his own manner to write music, and so do I. And when we, like in these three albums, mostly me and Christopher wrote the material together. When we have come together and do it together, it becomes like a very good brew, when we mix both our styles. Because I have an understanding for how he musically thinks, and also he has that for me.
Mm.
So we are not trying to intentively to recreate the past or anything like that. But of course, it's fun to hear when fans say, "Oh, I can hear some Dejal in that. I can hear some Vovin in that." That's great, but it's nothing we are trying to do. We try to do what we can do best is, and to be right now. This is how we sound now. Tomorrow, I don't know.
Okay. You said that you were influenced by Celtic Frost and artists always influence other ones. So, how do you feel about the bands that were influenced by you?
It's a great pride. It's a great pride. I was I was reading a comment from a fan who was listening to the new album. I think it was Leviathan 2 or 1. Oh, but they sound like Epica. And Christopher said, yeah, and Epica is influenced by us. So it's natural. So
It's
no,
funny.
but yeah, but joking aside, it's when people say that they are influenced by something you do, or that's the ultimate pride.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Christopher is one of the pioneers for symphonic rock. Like when he released Telly, something exploded. And it gave birth to a lot of bands. Like
Mm,
like Epica, for example, and numerous of bands.
yeah, of course.
They are very
Um,
happy.
about the video clip Twilight of the Gods, that gave me a huge Tolkien and a bit of Viking vibes.
Yeah.
Um, who direct this clip, and what was the composition process for this clip, directing process?
We use a guy called Carlos that comes from Latin America, and he does all these video clips for this record. He even did earlier clips for us. He did the first one. I think the first time we worked with him was when we released Citra Ara. He did the video clip for Kali Yuga 3. And nowadays we're living in different countries, all of the band, you know. So it's very hard to get us to play in the videos, to participate in the videos. So we simply give Carlos, because he's so good, we know what he can do. Here is the video. You have free hands, man. So he can do whatever he wants.
Okay.
More or less. Of course, sometimes it come back and we do some technical. That doesn't look good. Put the man there instead, or two guys there. You know, details like that. But in the big picture, it's him that are responsible for how it looks like, you know. And in our new video, that's called Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a brew. It's sort of a drug that are used in the jungles of South America, Latin America, yeah. That you drink, and some people I've heard call it the little death.
Yeah,
And this brew is made by shamans, you know, or shamans. I don't know how to pronounce that. And in the video, there are a real ayahuasca maker, you know.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's the real shit that you see, you know.
Oh, it's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you planned to do other kind of trilogy albums after Leviathan?
Now we have done this, and I actually got the physical record today in the post. No, I don't think so. We haven't come so long in the planning yet, because all next year is gonna be touring, you know, 2024, I mean. So we will be on tour. We start at 20th of January in Mexico City, and then we go to Europe, and then we go to China, and then we have festivals to do. And, you know, so the whole year more or less is booked for that. But it will absolutely be a new record. But when it's gonna happen, I don't know yet.
Okay. I hope to see you in some French festivals for this summer.
I would definitely hope so. I haven't seen all the festival schedule yet, you know. I don't know what festivals we're gonna attend, but I haven't even seen the full tour plan yet for Europe. But it will come. It will come.
Okay, be patient.
Yeah.
About concerts, do you have any rituals and gimmicks before going on stage?
No, we don't. I mean, we have our. I think I'm walking around a lot by myself, you know, backstage, you know, forward and back, and I just want to go on, you know. And Chiara normally exercise her voice a lot before we go on stage, and Christian Vidal is always sleeping, you know, 10 minutes before we go on. I think it's you know, when adrenaline starts to pump, we react very different to that, you know, because I still feel that adrenaline pump before we go on stage. Even if I've done this all my life, it's still the same great feeling, you know.
Have you been ever contacted for doing an original soundtrack of a movie or video game?
You mean Therion?
Yeah.
Or me personally?
Yeah. Personally,
Yeah,
or with Therion?
yeah. I actually wrote my first soundtrack this year, and it will come out in December. It's not me singing, but I wrote the song, and it has been on my bucket list. I would love to have a song in a movie, and it's a movie called Black Hill. It's a Swedish movie, and it's about a prison where the the boss of the prison is a sadistic one that starts to make gladiator games with the prisoners, you know. I haven't seen it. It might be the worst movie in history. I don't have a clue, but I have a song on a film. That was my goal.
I will definitely watch it.
Yeah, check it out. The band who plays the song is called Impera.
Impera? I don't know the band.
They were warming up for Kiss, their last tour in Scandinavia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jude starts with more Duende, sorry. Starts with more flamenco type of music, and
Yeah.
I really like that.
Thank you.
Who had this idea?
This guy. That's a funny story to that song, because normally when I write a song, I go into the studio and turn on the stuff and start to play, and you know, hopefully something good comes out. I don't sit and wait for inspiration, you know. I don't have to sit and look on the ocean or the weather. But this time, the TV was on in the living room way too loud. So I was like, gonna shout to my girlfriend, can you please take it down, you know? But she couldn't hear me, so I went there. And I saw it was a documentary about flamenco and Spanish folklore music. So I got stuck in front of the TV and watched this for a while, and I had this idea, I wonder if I can incorporate some of this into Therion music. So I went into the studio and I wrote Duende, which was inspired by actually that. And I told Christian Vidal to write this fantastic intro.
Yeah.
I told him write something, because he knows the flamenco guitar playing and stuff, you know. And told Rosalia, my girlfriend, who is Spanish, to sing in that style, that's almost screaming style that they have here when they sing to flamenco music, or copla as they call it. So yeah, that was inspired by television, flamenco.
What was the most difficult song to compose on this album?
Good question, but I think that at least the longest one is the unsung lament, because we came to this part when it's a lot of choirs, you know, singing, and that part just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it never stopped. We couldn't get out of it, you know. So probably that one. And I'm very pleased how it turned out, because sometimes when you write too big arrangement or too complicated stuff, everything gets into a serial. But I think this time went very good. I'm very pleased with that one. But that was a tough one.
Okay. So thanks so much for the interview. Can you tell me your last word for listeners?
Sure. I'm speaking to Belgium now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all my Belgian friends, Belgian fans, I hope to see you on tour in 2024. And I can't wait to see you all out there. It's been a long time ago. It's time again. Keep on rocking and rolling. Horns up.